So how do we populate this hair? With our eyebrow sculpt selected, go to particles, scroll down. You're going to see children. Right now it's set to none. We have to set it to simple. Let's go to simple. All right, and the difference between simple and interpolated is with the interpolate here, you can see that it adds all the hair on the actual geometry. And this would work if you're planning to add some hair map. You need to, if you want to add some weight map here, you want to paint some weight map and then add it as a density or length map, you could use interpolation, which I'm not going to do for this one. I'm going to set it to simple. And for the simple, all we have to do is set the radius to a lower value. We set the radius to 0. And then we go and slowly just crank up the value for the radius. I'm going to hold shift on my keyboard, just click and drag up. You can see that we're able to create some more hair, populate the hair, but at the same time, it's not going crazy and it's not adding it everywhere on the geometry. So this is exactly what we need, right? Something like that, just to kind of populate it. And of course, we don't want that much amount here. Right now I have it at 59. You can set it maybe to 5. Yeah, maybe 5. And then make sure for the render amount you say put the same one. And of course we could adjust this by scrolling down and going to our roughness here and add a little bit of roughness. So maybe for the size, we could just bring it down. And then for the random, just crank it up slightly to just kind of break up the hair. And then for the end point, I'm going to crank it up just slightly. So that just breaks it up. All right. And of course, you don't want to break it up too much where it's no longer following the hair guides. Okay, you want to make it very, very subtle. So maybe the random is too much. So maybe something like that. It's fine. And you could see that there's some gaps in certain areas where it looks like it's balding. So if you don't want that, you just go back and add more hair. So I'm going to go ahead and Control Tab, go back to Particle Edit. And you see how when right now if I go to Object Mode, you can see all the children for the hair. But if I go to Particle Edit, it goes away. How do you show the children? Just go click here and then just click on the arrow or press N on your keyboard, or click on this arrow right here, and then you go to Tools tab right here and then go to Options and just turn on Children. Okay, and now you're able to see the children, so it's better and easier for us to see when we add the hair exactly how it's going to look like, the end result. So let's go to our add and add more where we need it. So maybe another thing you could do is you could turn on interpolate for this, so that when you add a hair, right? If I add the hair right now, you see how it's like sticking out like this. But if we turn on interpolate right here, if we check that on, it will create the hair and it will think about all the hair strands that are already in there, and it will make the hair in that similar position instead of having it straight out. So turn that on. So now we add one here. You see how I just added it as if it's already combed and styled, because it's looking at all the other hair strands nearby and it's creating it based in between those positions. All right, and now maybe here I'm going to add another one right there and right here. So look at the areas where it seems like it's balding or it looks like there's like some gaps in the eyebrows, and just add some more. Sometimes it might not work, the interpolate. Sometimes you might want to turn that off and just add each individual hair strand and then just add them and comb it. But in this case, it looks like it's working the way you want it. Okay, this one here looks like there's some balding going on here. I think, this one here I'm having a hard time adding. So I'm going to go turn off interpolate and I'm going to go add, right? And I'm going to add one right here. Right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and select that. And I'm going to go ahead and comb it this way. There you go. And then I think I'm gonna add another one, maybe right in this area. And I'm gonna go ahead and comb that. Another cool thing is, you see where it says root positions? If you turn that off, right? And then if you're on your comb brush, you could drag the particle and maybe move it up or down and reposition that particle. And you can see the root is not sticking. And of course, once you position it where you want it, the hair, make sure you turn on the root position again, because you don't want to be combing it and the hair is going to be like all over the place. So this is only if you want to reposition some certain hair strands. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to turn that on again. And then I'm going to go and comb it again. Like so. And I think maybe around this area, I could add another one right here. I'm gonna turn on interpolate and see if I can add one right here. Okay, looks like it's not adding where it needs to go, so I'm gonna turn that off. I'll have to manually add it right there and add one right there. And then I'm gonna go and select these and just comb it myself. Once again, you can see I have my root position turned on. Perfect. Okay. And I don't know what this is doing here. So to delete a particle, I'm gonna hover my mouse over it, press X and delete the particle. Yeah. And I'm gonna go ahead and add another particle right here. And I'm gonna turn on interpolate. That one right there, here. And I'm gonna go to my length and I'm gonna hold shift and then just make this shorter. Some areas you want to make it shorter, you could do that. And one right here. Perfect. Okay, and I'm gonna go, let's see. So we got a puff right here, length. But we could go to our length here. Then I'm gonna maybe smooth this out just to make it shorter around this area. It's too long. Alright, and see how that looks like. I think I might have a little too much going on here. I'm gonna go back to my particle edit. Smooth that out. So that could be shorter. I'm gonna go back to my pat edit mode here. I think it'll be easier to see how the hair exactly look like. And we could also go to material preview. Sometimes it's easier to look at it that way. Material preview right here. And what's good about material preview, we're also able to see the hair that we have added for our texture. So we could actually use this as a guide, the hair here we have added. We have painted some hair for Substance Painter. This is a good guide to use, right? So maybe I could use that. I'm gonna go and Shift A and just add some hair here. I'm gonna turn off interpolate. I add one right here, here, and here. Alright, and then I'm gonna go ahead and select all of these. Make sure we're on point selection mode. Select all of this. Press B and select all of these, Control L, and comb it, of course. And then comb it down. There you go. Right. I think I'm gonna go ahead and our mouse over here and delete that. Go. And I'm gonna go ahead and add this here. Add that there. And then just comb it. Alright, great. And see. Alright, I'm gonna go back to my standard preview. And we could go to our material, and that right now I have the head arms texture assigned to it. Let's set the same material that we have added on our main hair. Also do that for the eyebrows. And we could go to our eyebrow sculpt, and we could go ahead and turn off the emitter so that it's not going to render in the emitter view. It's not going to render in the viewport render. And yes, let's go to our render, turn off show emitter, viewport display, turn off show emitter. Ooh, I could already tell we're going to have some hair gaps around this area. I'm going to go to my particle edit. And when I'm going to go ahead and turn on interpolate. I like to use interpolate first to see if I could work with that. And if I can't, then I add it manually. Right. Alright, let's go ahead and render that out. I'm going to go ahead and do a little render test here. Okay. Let's see here. So I think there are some areas where there's some bald spots around that area there, which I do not like. Bald spot right there. You could also see here, and yeah, because it's symmetrical. So, and maybe some areas that might have too much hair also. So maybe around this area might be a little too much hair. So I'm going to definitely have to adjust these things. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to particle edit. Gonna go add hair here, here, here. And let's see how that looks once I added it. Okay. Alright, I think there might be a little too much going on. I'm gonna go to particle edit. Yeah, there's too hair hair in one spot. And if you have something like that, it's not gonna look right. See, you have too many hair here. So I'm gonna go hover my mouse, delete particle. Maybe this, delete that. Alright, see how that looks. Right, start to look better because we have less going on. And I think maybe there might be a bit. Let's see here. I feel like there's still some baldness going on in this area. Looks like it's fine on this side. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to particle edit. Yeah, I think like around here we got a little issue. So I'm gonna go maybe turn off interpolate and one right here. right there and here. So something like that. Comb that up, down, this. Alright, and see what we're working with. Alright, that's much better around this area. Also, we could kind of mess around with the display amount. We could mess around with the settings here. So maybe for the display amount, I set this to 4. Alright, so we got less hair going. Less accumulation of hair. And if we go ahead and scroll down, see from afar. Okay, I think this area might be a little too rough for my taste. A little too rough for my taste. So I'm gonna go ahead and do something about this. I'm gonna go to the particle edit. I'm gonna go select this here and just gonna remove that particle. Move that particle. Alright. And then see how it looks like. Alright, it's better. Probably, I think it's too close to each other, the eyebrow. I could select this here, select that, and just delete that. Okay. See how that looks. Think could probably add another hair right there. Looks like there's some balding going on. And also, maybe could go to the roughness here and just kind of tamper around with this. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna go to particle edit and then add another here. I go right around this area here. Select all of these, Control L. And of course, comb it. Alright. Alright, looking better. We get less balding going on. And let me see how it looks like if we bring down the diameter scale here. I think each hair strand might be a little too thick. So I'm going to go ahead and set this to 0.008. Okay. I'm going to set the root to 0.03. Alright, it's better. Definitely looking better. Yeah, just bringing down the diameter root is going to make a huge change here. You see from afar. think that there might be, looking at this here, this area here might have too much hair accumulation around that area. So if you see some spots where it's just a little too dark, that's because there might be a little too much hair there. I'm gonna go to particle edit. Actually, it looks, go check again, render that out. Looks like around this area, which is here. Go to particle edit. Okay, so maybe if I could just remove this part here and see how it looks like. All right. Yeah, so that was the issue. So sometimes just deleting some areas is going to do well. And I think we could also work by adding a little bit of hair strands around this area just to make it a lot more realistic. So I'm going to go and do that. I'm going to go to my particle edit. And I'm going to go Shift A. And one right here. And one right here and here. And maybe, yeah, one right there. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and select all of these. Control L. And of course, I'm going to go and comb it up. And down. And I'm going to go ahead and remove this random thing that's just sticking out. Maybe I could add another one right in this area. And go ahead and comb it this way. Okay, see how it looks like. Touch render. Okay, that looks better. We got little hair strands going on in there. And maybe I could even add another hair strand going in this direction. Maybe here. Maybe right here. Go. See how it looks. Right, looking better. Alright, so it just takes some time to do this. And of course, the more time you spend on the hair, the better it will look.